Flory Models daily vlog. Here we are on Friday the 20th of November 2015, and obviously Friday being Friday is review day. So great reviews up for you this week. Starting off with, we've got the Ming or wherever we are, 1/35th scale Whippet. This is the Mark A medium tank. Not, you know, so many parts in this one. You know, the detail is all there, and it is what it is. It's big sheets of plates of metal, so really it's all going to come down to your weathering. The kit itself is beautiful. It's got that really nicey easy click link system, which is so nice to work with, so straightforward. It gives you everything you could really need. Some nice options in there, and obviously they've done their homework really, really well. But obviously going around the Tank Museum in Bovington to get all the right references and the scales and all the bits and pieces like that, and it really is a stunning kit. And obviously next year, we'll be speaking about in a minute, we've got the World War I SIG starting. Obviously saying like the dawn, what did we call it? The dawn of a new age. So you know, kits like that are going to be really, really popular. Next up, something a little bit different. So Mel spotted this one. It was opposite our stand at Telford, but he spoke about it. So we've reviewed the Mel's Drive-In Diner. As I said, if you're into HO scale with your railroad and everything else like that, all the bits are going to fit with this one. Something a little bit different. And I'd say, I reckon if you went with the old LED lighting trick and everything else like that, something completely different, then that is really for you. You know, it's just one of those really weird off-the-shelf type of modelling that is fantastic because it's a diorama, and you could really go to town with that. Obviously with, you know, figures, cars, vehicles like that, and because it's all in HO scale, the railway guys know all about this one. There's a plethora of other stuff you can go along with that one. And then obviously we've got the champion here. We've done the Bandai Millennium Falcon. I've had this one for a couple of weeks. I know when it first came out I was really, really excited about it, and I still am. It's fantastic. It's a beautiful kit. The detail is absolutely exquisite. We're assuming it is all screen accurate, you know, when we have a good look at the film, but generally it's really, really nice. The level of detail, especially these inlay areas between the two sort of clamshells, absolutely fantastic, and gone are those days where it was built up of, you know, actually model parts and all the rest of it. We speak about it a lot during the review of this one, so go and have a look. I've done a little bit of research on the lighting kit for it. Yes, it is available. It looks to be there's two flavors though. Seems a bit weird. There's one flavor where it's literally just the engine glow at the back, 4 LEDs go in the back, but the instructions call out for one that goes to the cockpit as well, and there's to the stairwell as glow and everything else like that. They're around about 30-35 quid, which is obviously more than the kit, amazingly. As I say, the kit itself, if you do your homework and you look at it right, again we speak about it during the review, you can pick them up for around about 30 quid, free delivery to the UK. They are around. Don't panic. Everyone was sort of this big panic thing that, you know, you weren't going to be able to get them. Just go direct to, you know, eBay Japan. There's tons of them over there at reasonable prices. Don't get suckered into these guys making an absolute mint off of people by charging the world and putting on huge great cuts and everything else like that, either in the UK or on Amazon and things like that. They are out there, they are a very reasonable price, and they really are that good. So you've got all three of those reviews are up on the site now, and then as I say, next week and then during actually Star Wars month, we're going to be reviewing a lot more, or ruining even, Star Wars kits and doing reviews for you and everything else like that. Speaking of which, the Terminator, technically I've only got a week to build it because of obviously how it's going, and I've still got to do quite a bit of work, to be honest. Having yesterday off, actually on the helicopter, it's all ready for paint now, it's all fine, really happy with it, but I'm not sure we're going to get the Terminator done in time. But that said, this morning the gun barrels turned up for it, which are absolutely exquisite. We went with the aftermarket option with the gun barrels. Amazingly fast delivery. Full details will be up when we do the build of this one as well. I probably will try and get it done before obviously December comes along, but obviously we've got so much focused on. I'm going to try and do a Bandai kit every 2 days throughout December, so we catch up with absolutely everything. And I've got some other Star Warsy things, some special things, hopefully that will be coming in very, very shortly as well. Not just Bandai kits, I've got other manufacturer kits as well, and everything else like that. So we've still got so much Star Wars I don't want to take away from the Terminator. So if I don't think I can complete it in time, instead of having a gap and all the rest of it, what we'll do, we'll hold off to the new year of that, and that'll be my first build of the year. But I have gone down the aftermarket route for a couple of bits on it, and one being the gun barrels, which turned up this morning. Again, beautiful. We'll do a full review in it and all the bits and pieces when we move on with that one, but that one is definitely up for my next build. As I say, the helicopter stalled slightly this week. Beautiful style res, as you can see, but that one, it's all ready for paint. I've got the blades are still on the sprues, we need to get them off, but this one's going to go through the painting phase. Loads of weathering on this. We're going to be really, really special, so we'll be looking at this one heavily next week to get this one finished off and everything else, and clear the way through obviously for December. Speaking of which, obviously we're getting near the end of the year now, so it's time to push on with those group builds and things like that. The red versus blue group build, we've got 152 entries on the go for this one. Obviously you're all eligible to get prizes, and obviously everyone's going to get a medal. You obviously get the badge and the sticker sets and all the bits and pieces that we usually do, but obviously you need to complete. So far we've only actually got 43 of you have completed. I know there's a load of them looking like they're very, very close to completion, but that's pushed through with that because literally you've got 3 weeks, because that's going to finish on the 12th of December, which will clear us then through the Christmas break, and then obviously with the first group build of the new year, which will start in the new year. The other one as well is the Sherman SIG. You got another week on top of that, a couple of weeks on that. It's going to finish on the 27th of December, so just after Christmas, just before New Year. Currently got 30 builds on the go then, but again, a bit slow on the finish. We know it hasn't been running too long, but we've only got 5 finished on that one, so we really want to get those through. Again, there's some amazing work. We're going to be looking at them at depth next week. And then obviously for me and everybody who's a Star Wars fan, we've got the Star Wars SIG starting on the 1st and it's going to run to the 31st. As I said, we've got Star Wars month and all the rest of it. Don't panic if you're not into Star Wars, both of you who live on the planet who aren't, then obviously, you know, there's still going to be other things going on the site. It's not just going to be focused solely on Star Wars and all the bits and pieces. I'm sure there'll be other builds you haven't seen right the way through and that on the site, so you can go back and have a look at some of the old ones. We're still going to have other reviews as well going up throughout December, and a couple other bits and pieces we're going to be doing there. Going to be looking at the glosswork video as a standalone, and there's a couple other standalone videos we're going to do during December as well. Speaking of those though, the next group build up in the new year, just so you can start planning, is It Must Be an Animal group build. That one is going to start on the 1st of January, it's going to run to the 19th of June. It's the usual 6-month on that one. Basically, it's in the title, so it must be an animal. So we're thinking aircraft, you know, a Jaguar, you know, a Harrier, a Hawk, things like that. If you're doing armor and vehicles, obviously you've got Panthers, Tigers, all those things like that. And then obviously you've got ships, sci-fi, all of that counts, including science fiction animals, as long as it is named, because obviously technically a Draken or a dragon, you know, well, obviously that counts, because although I haven't seen one personally, I'm sure they are, and all the rest of it. So even if it's things from mythology and all those things, they count equally as well. So don't think you can't include it has to be a real animal. No, it just has to be named after something, as in obviously Pegasus, you know, and all those things. So, you know, as long as it technically is a usual thing. If it's something really obscure, then obviously that doesn't count, you know, no one's ever heard of. But as long as it's a genuinely used phrase or a name for an animal, then obviously that'll count into that one. So you should think it's a group build, so there'll be a full medal to go on with this one, and obviously sticker sets, prizes for the winners and things as we make our way through with those. Then we've got the first SIG of the year that's going to be starting next year. And obviously this one is the Armoured One, which is basically Dawn of a New Age. It's all the World War I stuff. So basically, if it was involved, I think, in World War I, and obviously with armour, you know, obviously the Whippet would count, things like that, then that's what that one is all about. So that's our first armoured vehicle SIG. Then I think we've got a month's break. I think it's about March. The first SIG for aircraft starts with that one. And basically that is anything with 2 seats. I think it's the twin, the dual cockpit system. So anything that's aviation based, helicopter, fixed wing or rotary wing, and all the rest in between, and then obviously if as long as it's got 2 seats, it counts. Okay, so no single seaters, but it has to be twin stick stuff, all right, and things like that, or 2 crew members, shall we say. So that one will be starting a little bit later in the year, but there's plenty of stuff going on and everything else like that. So there we go, that's it for another week. I'll be working over the weekend and cracking on with some builds. Hopefully I'm going to crack on with this one. As I said, I'll make the full decision on the Terminator probably early next week, when I know I've got a week to run on it. But obviously I don't want to rush it too much. I want to enjoy the build and make my way through and not just chuck it together just to get it out of the way. So I definitely want to take my time with it. So there we go, that is it for this week. I'm going to leave you with all your great finishes that you finished this week actually on the forum in the gallery sections. Remember, if you want to see more pictures of them, pop into the gallery. I just usually pick the first 2 pictures, or the first 2 best overall pictures. If you want detailed photos and all the rest of it, and obviously if you're a member, pop into the forum, go into the gallery section, and you'll see where I get them from. So that's about it from me. I'll catch you all next week. So until then, everybody, happy modelling.